What's up,
What's
John?
good? It's me, y'all.
Everybody thought it was someone
Nah,
else,
for real. We've been me the whole
but we're
time.
we're here now. How are you feeling?
I'm good. How you doing?
This is the first episode.
I'm excited.
This is the first episode, but before we start,
Mhm.
I just wanted to give you a joke of the day and a random fact of the day.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the random fact of the day is that popping a cork from a champagne bottle releases the same level of shock waves as a jet.
As a
So if
jet.
you pop it, it's the same thing as like jet, a jet releasing like waves.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the joke
You
of
don't
the
want to get
day,
hit by that, right?
no,
Mm.
no.
Mm.
And then the joke of the day is, what did the big flower say to the little one?
What?
You're really growing, bud.
Dead.
Anyways,
Dead.
so let's get into the topic for today.
Yeah.
Um, and what is it? Uh, today we'll be talking, guys, about worthiness.
Mhm.
So, where do you find your worth?
Uh,
How has it attached? How has worthiness grown with you? And overall, what do you think of this generation and the what that word means to them?
all right. So first off, let's get into it. Right. I am John.
Mm-hmm.
And me, if you know me, then you know that I talk a lot about my interest and my passion. So
Yeah.
I feel like worthiness comes a lot from who you are and what you like the most. You know, what you find deep within yourself is important to you
Yeah.
and what you're very passionate about. So I feel like for me, um worthiness would be what I care about the most,
Mhm.
which is, I talk a lot about my future, my goals. Um, that's what I'm about a lot. So
Yeah. And like honestly, just I just searched it up on Google right now, and worthiness means the quality of being good enough suitably,
the
and that's just
quality,
crazy. Like I feel like many of us just feel like we're worthy less
yeah,
because our worth is sometimes attached to materialistic things.
exactly, yeah.
For example, like I don't know, relationships
Mhm.
or grade or something else but ourselves. I feel like I don't know where I heard this from, but it was just like for you to be in this planet, it cost you a lot to be in this planet because there
Yeah.
were so many possibilities. There were so many sperm cells that could have gone through, but yours went through.
You know what? Yeah,
You're the
yeah.
winner.
That's really true though. Like, don't compare yourself to other people a lot because what they find value in might not be what you value.
Right.
So a lot of times people around me might be really worried about something that I'm not. Like, you might find worth in your grades or in school, but it's not that I don't. It's just it's not as important to me
Yeah.
as it would be to you.
Yeah.
So don't devalue someone else
Yeah.
because of what they find is
Exactly.
is is worth is valuable to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. And just going back to that, it's just like I feel like sometimes an environment
Mhm.
builds that worthiness for you. For
Yeah.
example, like a school setting might set that up for you to
Yeah.
feel worthy of accomplishing a goal or accomplishing a specific grade. But when it comes to like when you boil it down, like I have a sister who she was GT her whole life,
Oh wow.
but as soon as she came to high school, she had a burnout.
Yeah.
And because that her worth was so set on grades, she just felt devastated because she was just like, this my whole life I've been like a perfect a a grade student. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? But I feel like we also have to give ourselves mercy because at the end of the day, we are humans. We aren't robots.
Exactly.
And apart from worthiness, I feel like sometimes we think a lot of what people think of us, like
Yeah, we do.
way too much.
Mhm.
And sometimes people just don't care.
You
Like
don't.
for
You
example, like
shouldn't.
honestly, like whenever my I keep on putting my sister as an example. Hopefully, I bring her in, guys.
Yeah.
But when she started driving, like one of the biggest advices that she got that I even take now is that whenever you have a problem with your car engine or motor or something's failing you, don't worry because all the cars are just trying to get like they're not paying attention to you. They're just trying to get away from you
Yeah.
because you're causing like the traffic or anything. They're just
Yeah.
trying to like go their way. So that's, I feel like that's just attached to life, similar to life as well. Like, of course, there will be people that will assist you. There will be people that are valuable to you in life and that will give you advice. But most people just come and go. Like they're here like now and they might not be there
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
future. So it's all about you knowing your worth, you knowing your value as a human.
Hmm.
I don't know what else you want to say.
No, I feel that a lot, and a lot of times, people are worried about the wrong things at the wrong time. What
Yes.
you
Oh my
find
god.
might matter now. I know you said
Exactly.
this in your introduction episode, but
Ooh.
I think that I did watch it, but
No.
I think this a lot too. What matters now won't matter, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, So you might be worried about the wrong things, but in reality, just because everybody else around you values that or think that that matters, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter
Yeah.
in the long run.
Yeah.
So you should always take into account what your future. I
Yeah.
I personally feel like, I always have that in the back of my mind that, what this is what really matters,
Yeah.
and this is what I should really be focused on.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you always have to just keep that in
Yeah.
the back of your mind.
Yeah. And something that I want to like ask you is I'm just hearing you right now.
Hmm.
You attach your worth a lot to what the things you value. So
Yeah.
what are the things that you value?
I value my future a lot. I value my family a lot. I really value success.
Mhm.
So I really care about where I'm gonna be in the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
That's what I think about most of the time.
Yeah.
If you talk to me or you hear me talk, or if you know me and I go on my little rants, then I always talk about that type of stuff. So that's really what I value.
Mhm.
I just want to be able to provide a life, or live a life that I haven't experienced before.
Yeah.
So that's what I strive to achieve a lot, and I know like right now that's not really it. That's not happening. So I want to make it happen. That's
Yeah.
why you gotta sometimes you gotta change your surroundings. You gotta change the people you're around,
Mhm.
because just like we're talking about, people might not value what you value at the time until it's too late. Then they realize, back then I should have been worried about this.
Exactly.
So I feel like I caught on earlier, and I got time is on my side. I'm
Yeah.
still young, so since I'm aware of what I should be thinking about, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
then um that's all I do think about, and that's all
Yeah.
I talk about most of the time. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm interested in talking about. So I want to get my foot in the door. I want to surround myself around the right people. I want to have the right conversations. I want
Yeah.
to be able to, by the time I get to uh, by the time I'm older, I want to already be where I want to be. I don't want to realize when it's too late.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like I honestly don't want to live my life in my teenager years. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
I know what you mean.
Like I know so many people that are just like they're on a constant hustle
Mhm.
to just be the best or be the one who like obviously it's for themselves as well,
Yeah.
but be the friend that has the most money or the friend that has
Mhm.
this or the friend that has expensive things. But like what if like what happens when you already live your life and and you get to your 30s and you have nothing else to experience?
Yeah.
It's like, for example, let's say that you take your children whenever they're young, you travel with them throughout all the countries of the earth. What are they going to have to travel when they're in their 30s or like
Exactly.
they're older? They're going to be like, oh, I already know this. Like,
Yeah, I've been there
and
before.
like also with that, I like what you said, like what, like to not rush time,
Mhm.
because that's where heartbreak comes as well. Like,
Exactly.
why are you having heartbreak right now when you're like you're not even ready to sustain a household? Does that
Exactly.
make sense?
Mhm.
Why are you looking for a partner when you're not even able to communicate with your parents? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah, that's
And
so
it all
true.
starts at the house. My mom already always says that. That's a hint for my Spanish episode, you guys. That's gonna be my theme.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, going back to what I value. Firstly, I value my relationship with God.
Mhm.
Secondly, I value my family.
Mhm.
Thirdly, I value success.
Yeah.
A lot of people would put it in a different order,
Mhm.
but I firmly believe that things can be given and taken from you in a second.
Yeah, of
And
course.
like with this economy, let's not even get into that.
No, I don't want
Let's
to
not
talk about the
even get
economy,
into
man.
that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's crazy. Like one day you can be the richest, and the
yeah.
next day you're
It can
asking for
all
the
be
next
gone.
richest money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I very much value my relationship with God, because I don't think I've ever given my testimony, but hopefully I will give it soon.
Yeah,
Not
hopefully.
right now.
Yeah.
But I do value what he has done in my life, and I've seen the miracles performed in my life,
Mhm.
because not only like I wasn't supposed to be here like alive,
Yeah.
because a little testimony. Um I got I got I wrapped myself in the womb with the umbilical cord. So I
Really?
wrapped myself in the
What?
yeah.
You wrapped yourself in
I
a.
wrapped myself until the doctor went into scissors to like cut
Yeah,
each
that's crazy.
images. So I
That's
was about
actually
to
crazy.
strangle myself.
Uh-huh.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like my worthiness fully depends on God, because He's my creator. And like if it weren't, obviously if it weren't for science and like the doctors also as well, I wouldn't be here. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. We wouldn't. You wouldn't even know the Nellis.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
that's just crazy to me. And I love life. And that might sound very cliche, but you only get one shot at this. There's
Nah,
only one Earth.
I understand
You know what I
fully
mean?
what you're saying. Uh-huh.
Like we're trying to go to Mars,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not gonna be the same as Earth. It
No.
doesn't have flowing rivers. It doesn't have green pastures. No, it doesn't. It's not the same as Earth.
Yeah.
And I feel like my worthiness in time in my life, I felt worthy less, because I was so stuck into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're stuck into your mind, that's all you see. That's all your eyes are able to see. Like for example, I was depressed. So that's my eyes would just be like everything's gloomy, life sucks. I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't going to do it, cuz what does a 13-year-old know about killing herself?
Yeah.
So it was these different things that it was just, and this is just obviously from my Christian perspective, it's just like God was just like, I've already gone through all the process. I've already gone to the cross. I've already taken all of this depression, everything that you're feeling, for you to give it to me and have a fuller life
Mm-hmm.
and live for me. So then that's where my worth, that's why God will always be my priority, because He is my joy.
Yeah.
And honestly, there has been so many times, especially this week, where people have stepped over me, not like physically, but like metaphorically, like
Mm-hmm.
stepped over me, or like just bashed me down.
Yeah.
But I have nothing else to say but like hug them or like laugh,
Yeah, I know what you
because
mean.
that's just the joy of the Lord in me. Like I don't have anything else to say but speak life to you,
Yeah.
because I'm not doing myself a favor, or I'm not doing yourself a favor if I'm speaking death into you, if I'm cursing you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and that's what I feel like a lot of this generation just likes to bash and bash and bash and bash, but they don't go to the root of what they're hurt about. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they feel worthless, or whatever the word is. Correct me,
I feel
guys.
like I personally feel like with this generation everybody's just playing follow the leader. That's how I feel. Yeah. I feel like
Exactly.
I feel like whatever's popular, whatever's mainstream on social media, because that's all we care about nowadays is what everybody else wants to do. Nobody really knows who they are themselves, you know. So nowadays, I feel like this generation just needs to relax, honestly, and just take a step back and focus on yourself. Um, I feel like everybody needs to go on that on a journey to find themselves spiritually and mentally, and just better yourself
Yeah.
in general. You know,
Yeah.
which is the path I feel like I'm currently taking, and I
Yeah.
feel like everybody needs to take, because
Yeah.
in the end it'll be worth it. You
Yeah.
know.
Like what I always think about is like it sounds funny in my head, but it's just like we find Facebook moms or like Facebook cringy.
Yeah.
What if like our kids or like the future generations find Instagram.
For
Like it's gonna be so different
yeah,
because that's the job of trends. They
yeah,
come and go. They're cheap trends. They're not
exactly.
like, if you're not unique, you're just gonna flow with the waves.
Yeah, I know
You're
what you
never gonna
mean.
have a full identity. You're never gonna be totally worthiness, like
Mhm.
worthiness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, you guys, yeah, in this generation, I feel like Gen Z is, I feel like, the quickest to point out something in someone. Like
Exactly.
they can call BS like this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, "Oh, you don't look right. You're canceled." Like, you know what
Man,
I mean? And
cancel culture, man.
it's just like it's not okay. But yeah, going back to the list of what I value, I do value family.
Mhm.
My mother, she will always have my heart.
Yeah.
She always sat me down and she was just like, she was like, "You have been set apart. Don't mix in with the crowd."
Yeah.
That was always the advice.
I love that.
You're set apart for a reason. You're chosen for a reason. There's she declared life for me. That's why I'm telling you. Like she declared that even as when I got to this country at 4 years old, she would declare, like she would bow down and speak to the Lord and declare life over us. She would be like, "My daughters will be successful. My daughters will serve the kingdom. My daughters will make me proud,
Yeah.
and I will be so proud standing next to a CEO. I will
Yeah.
be so proud standing to an entrepreneur. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And that has always been their dream. My parents, my dad also, he has never really said, "Oh, I want you to follow this specific field."
Mhm.
No, 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 no. He's like, whatever you're good at, whatever you see yourself in the future, and your passion. Those
That
are the three things. I am
that
not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for anything. I want you to live a full life. And if you want to give back to me, go ahead. But like,
yeah.
I'm not requiring you. That's why I'm working right now, and that has always been the mentality. Even back, I have businesswomen as my mom, John.
For real?
Like my mom, she started building her own little convenience store like around like 10 years old.
Really?
She would carry everything, little every piece by piece, like a box of sodas
That's
or
cool.
a box
That's where you get
of
it
soaps,
from.
and then she would just start building her little convenience store.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been easy. Obviously, we came over here and
Yeah.
it's
It's
different,
never easy.
but that's my drive, and that's hopefully that's what sets me apart. Um, and I'm looking for uniqueness. And honestly, a lot of people are gonna probably ask, why did you bring John as your first one?
Yeah.
And I have the answer. Like I I have heard many people bash you down,
Mhm.
and I hate it.
Always.
I hate it because I'm like, who else comes to you when you're feeling down and tries to make a joke?
Yeah.
Because they're so stuck up on themselves. Like
Yeah.
they're so they need to get over themselves. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mhm.
And honestly, unapologetic in this podcast. So if you get offended, don't. But yeah, they're so stuck up on themselves, and as I was saying, because their worth is so connected to what they're making or what they're going towards. Or obviously, what they're going towards, but like their success. Oh, and I have better blah 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 and blah blah. Like no, like
Yeah.
actually care for people. Like
Exactly.
we're here. We're honestly just in a very crashing economy. Our earth is like not healthy.
Yeah.
What else can you do? Are you gonna bash your neighbor? No.
No.
Like if that's how low you are, that says a lot about what you put your worth in.
Exactly.
Just going back to the subject, and then success. I feel like we all want success.
We
Nobody
all
wants to be
do.
homeless.
I feel like we all want success, but not everybody knows what it takes to be successful. I feel like I personally feel like not everybody works hard enough to be successful. That's not how I wanted to word it, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Like I feel like everybody says I want to be successful, but you do nothing about it, you know?
Yeah,
So I feel like a lot of times I work a lot harder behind closed doors. But
yeah,
if I talk about something, if I go on my rant or something, because people have stuff to say, but we never really see what's going on with somebody behind
exactly for
closed
my
doors.
podcast.
Yeah. you never really know what's
Yeah.
going on. But from what you see, you have a lot to say until maybe I get to that point, or maybe I prove you wrong. You actually see like, oh, okay, like then you want to come around for real. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times that's what a lot of everybody's the same for real. But um
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't people don't people don't people don't show it as much.
They
I'm
don't.
I'm myself, you know.
Hmm.
I feel like nobody should change for anybody. I know that sounds cliche, but I mean it's so true to me in the
It's really
end.
true.
So
And honestly, like, um, what I, and I would, ooh, what I
nah,
would say to you, there was just a stomp. What I would say to you, would be, don't ever try to chase it like, oh, I'm trying to prove them wrong, or like
yeah,
they're gonna see one day.
yeah,
No, it's like, hey, I actually want to get better at this. Let
mhm,
me develop my skill set.
yeah,
One day I might be giving advice to little John that I just met from an elementary meeting that I
yeah,
went. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you're gonna be like, wait, this is actually worth it. It wasn't for them. It
yeah,
was always for obviously me and like for my future family.
yeah.
Like, don't think of it like, oh, I'm for them. They're probably dead
That's what
by
I
the point that
strive
you
for.
like. I'm saying, like, you
Yeah,
never know. Like, you might be alive now and dead later. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah,
So don't try to prove them wrong. Just like keep working for you, keep hustling, keep grinding.
that's
That
what
your
I
work will
strive
pay
for too.
off.
Because I feel like it used to be like that a lot. I used to feel like, if somebody would have something to say, it's like, all right, I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna prove you wrong. You wanna, you. I feel like I took into account a lot of what people would say about me.
Yeah,
If they had something to say, then I would feel the type of way like, all right, I gotta work harder to prove you wrong. When actually, in general, you should be working harder for yourself. You should want to
yeah,
better yourself.
yeah,
Because if you do it for yourself, then the results are 100 times better.
yeah,
You'll feel better in the long run. Because once you get there, it's like it doesn't matter anymore
yeah,
what they think. And
yeah,
it never mattered to begin with.
yeah,
But you were blind to see that
yeah.
until you actually got to where you needed to be.
Yeah. And I feel like we can't talk about this if we're not gonna like directly point at the system we're living in. We live in a very individualist society
Exactly.
where it's like I can't tell you what I'm doing
Hmm.
because you're gonna steal my idea, and
Yeah.
it's my worth, it's my money. And like back in, I've even heard it from people in Italy, like or like even from El Salvador, like we're all united. Like if you need cheese, you go to the neighbor's house. You know what I mean? If you need a pair of of shoes and your neighbor hasn't, they will gladly give it to you. Here is
Wow.
just like, no, why are you not working?
Yeah.
Why are you not making your own bag? I already
Yeah.
made mine. Why would I give it to you? Like that's the type of society we live in, and
Hmm.
it's just crazy to me. It's just like, so this is what all of our parents sacrificed for back in our home countries
Yeah.
to be in this society. Like my mom is just, I admire that woman because she has not changed.
Hmm.
Like even when we go back to visit our home country, they're like, this is the same I don't want to say her name, but this is the same lady that we met that is still here. Like this is the same lady that we raised
Yeah.
basically. Like she's still here, and they're glad to see it. And it's not worth changing for anyone, as you said, even though it sounds
Yeah.
um cliche, I mean, it's not worth it. Your worth should 100%, as I say it for myself, should be, mine is located in the savior of my life, which is Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
And for you, it is centered on your future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just I really find worth in just my future is mainly for my family too though. Like
Mm.
my drive is for my family is because I wanna provide for them something. I wanna provide a new experience.
Yeah.
I wanna be the one to show them something new. So
Mhm.
that's really what drives me a lot.
Mhm.
My success drives me because of my family. I want
Mhm.
I want I want to give them something they never had.
Yeah.
So that's really what drives me a lot. I love what you said though,
Mhm.
um, because your values are,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Concrete.
concrete, exactly,
Concrete.
yeah.
Pavement. Just kidding.
Nah, but yeah, yeah, you get
Sidewalk.
it though. You get it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy. Other people have different lists.
Mhm.
My value is centered on my girlfriend. My value center on my boyfriend.
I thought you said you had a girlfriend.
No.
Nah, yeah. But yeah,
No, an example. My value centered. It's just the craziest thing. Like nowadays, people can be like, my value centered on a tree.
on a
Like
tree.
what?
Nah, people just don't really think about that type of stuff a lot nowadays. But
Yes.
um I don't know, people are just really worried about the wrong things a lot nowadays. I really take into account what I find valuable. So I talk about this a lot, but can I say
Of
what
course.
I
Of
want to be
course.
in the future?
Of course.
How I want to pursue
Because
entrepreneurship?
because you're gonna come back and you're gonna be that.
Exactly, and I
Mhm.
I cannot wait. But anyways, um, I I want to be an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
You know that I want to. And a lot of times when I tell people that, they be like, okay, like what business do you want to start? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? But it's not really. I just find that lifestyle, so, and it's not a lifestyle to me. Entrepreneurship isn't a lifestyle. It's more of like a way. It's like you have to become someone different to be an entrepreneur. That's what I find so intriguing about becoming an entrepreneur. I feel like I have to really work on myself
Mhm.
to embark on that journey.
Mhm.
So um self development, self healing, all of that. I feel like that's really interesting to me about entrepreneurship because I've been into this for a while, since maybe like in the sophomore year maybe, or
Oh.
yeah, in the sophomore year maybe. So it hasn't been that long, but it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Mhm.
And I can already see growth. Like I feel like I used to be so different. I used to be worried about the wrong things just like everybody else. Or, I just used to value different things, because what you value is what you value. But
Mhm.
um I used to value things a lot differently. Like I would be worried about going here with them, or I would be worried about doing this or that, and it really wasn't aligned with, like, it wasn't I wasn't in alignment with those things.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm more in alignment with what I want to be and what I want to do in my
Yeah.
future. I feel like that's what really matters the most. So I feel like going on this journey really helped me so far, because I know I have a long way to go. I feel like we all do, but I
Mhm.
feel like it really helped me grow and develop a lot already. I already
Mhm.
see differences. Um,
Yeah.
I still strive to grow because I know I need growth a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But um, in many areas of my life, I feel like has gotten better because of entrepreneurship, which is why I want to continue to go on this journey. I know that when I come back a year from now, like, it's gonna be so
It's
different.
been different.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be so different
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
because of this journey I embarked on. I wanted to go through.
Yeah. And I want to say something like, I know I talked about the Facebook moms, but don't come at me.
I'm dead.
No, but I was gonna say that other people have already taken the journey that you have.
Yeah,
Other people have already gone through the experience that you're about to take into, or you're about to embark in, and it doesn't hurt to ask them what helped them.
yeah,
It doesn't hurt to ask or have a mentor,
yeah,
because they've already lived it.
yeah,
They're already probably chilling with their families. You know what I mean? Like they're probably like at that point that you want to be in,
yeah.
and they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, I wish I would have done this differently, so I would have gotten a little bit like further." So they
Exactly,
might be here, but they're like they're giving you advice, blah blah blah. You're going up the scale, and you're like, they're like, good job, but you're like over here, and like you're able
exactly.
to provide for them, like, obviously not provide, but like you're able to give back to them what they once one day they gave to you. So like I hate whenever generations go against each other,
Mhm.
because in itself history does repeat.
It does.
It does. So why would we try to make it our own experience, where when it's pretty much everybody's experience. Like
Yeah,
everybody goes through high school,
yeah.
everybody goes through college. I mean, not everybody.
Not
Not
everybody.
everybody, not everybody, not
Mm-mm.
everybody.
Mm-mm.
Um but everybody goes through heartbreak.
Yeah.
That's a common feeling. So all of these feelings just remind us that we are alive, that we are in this earth, and that we are worthy.
Mhm.
You know, and it's I think life is beautiful
Yeah.
if you make it beautiful.
I feel like life is what you make it. So back to what you said about the mentor.
Mhm.
I feel like that was so true. I agree with that. I feel like that's personally what I feel like I need now.
Mhm.
Like having somebody to guide you, whether it be in entrepreneurship
Yeah.
or just like any part in your life, anywhere in your life in general that you feel like you need mentoring on or you need guidance,
Mhm.
I feel like having a mentor is something that's really valuable because it helps you get to where you want to be
Mhm.
a lot smoother and a lot quicker than you would going through it alone, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that you can't do it alone, but having a mentor could really be useful in most cases, you know, because you know I heard this a lot, you know, just from you know a lot of my studies, and it says like you know learning from others' mistakes. You know, a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. You know, rather than making his own. You know, because you
Yeah.
know you learn from mistakes, but
Mhm.
why even make those mistakes when you can
Yeah.
learn from the mistakes of others?
Yeah.
You know, so
Mhm.
getting a mentor is really something that I feel like if you know that you're going on a journey and you know that you need guidance, then that's what you should do.
Yeah.
You know, you should get a mentor. You should find someone who can help you get there a lot smoother.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The Bible says, give advice to someone wise, you'll make them wiser.
Yeah.
Give advice to a fool, you'll make them more foolish
Really.
because they won't accept it. They'll
True.
go their own way.
Yeah.
They'll be reckless about it. So yeah, yeah, a good mentor. You need a good mentor.
You need a great mentor.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just then I feel like this generation, like we've gone through so much as a generation. Obviously, not everybody knows each other,
Yeah.
but everybody is in the same feeling in the sense that we've opened our eyes to what the society is. We've
Mhm.
opened our eyes to what trends are. We've opened because now there's so many aesthetics. There's so many things that they're like, no, I'm gonna follow my own. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what I like. And something that I have in mind. It's mustering, guys. Don't take it too seriously right now. But I want to make merch for our podcast, for my podcast. I
You
mean,
want to what?
merch,
Oh, you want to make? Of course, I think you should make merch.
merch. So
Yeah, I
then
think you should.
I want to use that to, for it to speak life because obviously I'll have the logo, but I also want to have like sayings that would speak life to someone
Yeah.
that won't tear them down, that would actually help them. They're like gonna represent, you know what I mean? And that's the core values that I want to induce into this podcast, that I want to sustain in this podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you think this is it?
Do I think that this is it?
You think this is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned for our next episode. But this was John with us today for our
Thank you for
first
having me.
episode. Of course, we'll see him later in a year. But thank you so much for tuning in and stay updated with all social media platforms. Thank you. Bye.